Family was good. Hey, what's up, y'all? Hope y'all doing good today. You know, how everybody feeling?
Good.
Man, how you feeling?
Man, I'm good, man. Look tired, but I'm all right. What up?
Yeah. What's up, Kitty?
Let us know about the sound.
Yeah,
Doing sound check at the same time.
yeah. Y'all let us know if y'all can hear us and all that. Make sure everything good before we like get into this thing. Feeling all right?
Matter of fact, how hot is it out there?
Yeah, 'cause you in Arizona.
It's a little cooler here today.
Yeah, before we kick this off, just let us know how the sound is. Before we get into it, you can do it. Put your back into it. We're gonna wait a little minute. But other than that, how'd y'all week go? Mine was pretty good. Tired, but pretty good. It sounds good. Yes, I can hear that. All right, appreciate it. Hey, how you doing?
What's going on?
Welcome to the Smooth Family. Welcome to the Smooth Talk Podcast. We're gonna jump into it.
Ooh.
Yeah, y'all keep that.
Yeah, y'all keep that up.
But what's good, Smooth Family? It's your boy Be Smooth. You can't be smooth, and you gotta move. In this Smooth Talk, I'm your host Brandon, aka Be Smooth. My other host, my dad Carl, aka Papa Smooth. And yeah,
Name y'all gave me.
yeah, y'all getting that name. But for today's topic, we're gonna be talking about why do we destroy ourselves for people to like us. I've been waiting to get to this one. Why do we destroy ourselves for people like us? What's y'all thoughts on that? What's your thoughts on that?
Why do we destroy ourselves?
For people to like
Because
us.
we want to be liked so bad.
Mm.
And I think it was Kitty that said last week, social media, they looking for social media validation.
Yeah.
Crazy, but
like it's different things that can cause that. But like you said, want to be liked by everybody, want to be accepted. A lot of people feel like they don't fit in and things of that nature. Which I get it to some degree, but not to the point where you're destroying yourself and losing yourself.
no.
Because there's many ways you can destroy yourself, not only just mentally, emotionally, but it can be a physical aspect. Yeah, it can really get dangerous depending on what it is.
And not only that, but before we go any further, who's that? Christina. It's your first time here. Let us know it's your first time here. And anybody else that just tuned in, let us know it's your first time here. You put a 1 in the chat or just wave with the waving emoji or just say hello and just say, yes, it's my first time here. We appreciate it, each and every one of you all that's here, that always support us.
Yeah. She said it was 115 earlier this week. Yeah, keep that. Kitty said people who are weak minded do that. I can never. Yeah, I mean, I feel you. But I kind of got to go back and forth with you on that one a little bit because, yeah, it do be some weak minded people, but also it'd be situations where people be going through stuff and how they was like brought up and raised and who they hang around and all that other stuff. So it'd be trauma behind it too. It do be some trauma behind it because everybody different. I know some people, when I come to these questions and points I'm gonna bring up, some people gonna be like, I mean, that's a no-brainer, but everybody think like you do. So that's why I asked you, these questions. Keisha said, hi, yeah, I feel like people don't realize over time how much it affects them until it starts bleeding into parts of their lives that they thought they had control over. Yeah. That's usually how it starts. It all builds up over time, the constant need for validation until they break. Yeah. That constant need for validation. It's pretty much like having an addiction. You know, you got to get that next, like that next hit. Yeah, want to be liked and constantly going back. For people that post videos and content, trying to get that next like, see how many views and likes you got, and constantly checking that, or just in general, even if it's not on social media, just trying to be liked by everybody, doing anything and everything. That ain't the way to go.
No.
You're gonna lose yourself. But a question I want to ask is, do you even know who you truly are without the need to please others? I feel like
Well, at the age I am now, I know who I am. But when I was younger, no.
Mm-hmm. Back then, it was, like you said, younger me, yeah, I didn't know who I was for a second. And also being the only one in my family that had suicide and stuff like that, that plays a part into it. So it was very difficult for me trying to figure out where I fit in and all that. But now, yeah, I know who I truly am, and what I was put on this earth to do and everything. Boy, at first it was just difficult trying to figure that out. Once you read that.
You said, and if you start off earlier in life as a child, and don't realize it's a problem till you're older. It's hard to just stop, because once you stop, you lose the people you thought loved like you. Kids say, I think I do.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's journey is different.
And Keisha said, I'm still learning now. And Keisha, that part right there, I think we all is still in a learning stage. I know I am, and I'm older than you all. I'm still in the learning stage. You will always learn something or be in a learning stage until the day you die.
Nobody's never going to know 100%.
You're never going to do it all. Nope.
We all
you will hear some things that you probably never heard of before. You'll see some things that you probably never ever thought that you would see.
Mm-hmm.
But that's life. Life is about growing. We're not willing to grow and learn. Then what are you here for?
Right.
Not saying somebody go out here and take themselves out. I'm not even saying that.
Yeah.
But it's all about learning and getting to know other things. Just like when I see y'all posting, and Keisha send me stuff sometime, I'm learning. I'm watching the videos and I'm learning stuff, and ooh, this is crazy right here.
Pretty much like get out your own way.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you did say that though, Keisha, because I feel like a lot of people be ashamed to admit that they still learning. Which is like, bro, you're never gonna know everything. That's just the reality of it. We all learning something, but there's always some type of people that feel like they know everything and they can't learn from nobody, especially the older generation. And I ain't trying to like attack them or not like that. It's just facts and what we see.
Yeah.
Feel like if somebody my age and things of that nature can't tell them anything or teach them anything, it's like, bro, we can all learn from each other.
Yeah, because the older generation think that everything they say is facts and true, and that's it. But really, some of the stuff said back then and trying to implement it now, stuff don't work.
Mm-hmm. All this don't tie together. But another question I had is, are you more afraid of rejection or of losing yourself?
Most are afraid of rejection.
Mm-hmm.
Rejection is a thing that helps you to grow. It helps to build yourself up to a place where just because I got rejected don't mean that's the end.
Right. That character development.
If you really care about something, someone, you really care about someone, they're gonna reject you anyway, especially when it's true.
Yeah. Me personally, like myself, no, I'm afraid of losing myself. Rejection, that just happens on the regular. Like that's normal to me. You learn it at a young age.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a lot of people that are afraid of rejection, and they need to do some self-reflect when it comes to that. And figure out where that stems from. 'Cause
Yep.
it comes from somewhere.
Now you're right. The other part of that is losing yourself, because you can lose yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You can't. You trying to please everybody else, and you trying to do this. You trying to satisfy this person, satisfy that person, satisfy your friends, and even to a point trying to satisfy your enemies.
Mm-hmm.
And you will lose yourself very easily. And then if you're not careful, you'll start adapting somebody else's ways.
Yeah. And it do be rough. You know, it's difficult. Casey, I feel like a part of life is learning about ourselves every day. We are different from who we were last year. Yeah, we are. But some people stay in them old ways and they stay the same. So I do see where you're coming from. Mine will be losing my self rejection is every day. Yeah. It'd be like that. That's part of life though. You know, like we said, it builds up who you are. You have to get rejected sometimes because you always getting told yeah or whatever, you're never rejected. That's gonna be a problem. Because when somebody do reject you, you ain't gonna know how to handle it.
He said, terrified of rejection. It comes from my fear of failure. It comes from high expectations and comparison put on me in my earlier school days. Feeling like I'm not enough or I'm not worthy of the space I take up.
But first, you know, I get the mindset where you come from on that. But and it's difficult to get out that mindset, but anybody that's watching this, you are enough. You know, it's difficult, especially the world we live in now. The way social media going, yeah, it's very difficult, but you are enough. And I got something that kind of ties into that. I'm gonna get to it. But Keisha said, but I'm getting out of that mindset now. I'm about to start taking chances and I'm learning that it's better to do it afraid than to never do it at all. Yeah. If you never attempted, you'll never know. Then you had that regret. What would it, what would happen if I did try? Well, what if? That's what I meant to say. The what if mindset. And that will stay for you to the day you die. If you don't try. You know, you need that fear though. It pushes you.
Then it goes. It even goes to the part and to the point of, do you truly know who you are?
Mm-hmm.
Not what your mom and daddy said, not what somebody else said. Do you yourself know who you are? And do you know the purpose and destiny that you're traveling to and for? Some people don't even know who they are. So they'll pick up this personality, they'll pick up this personality, they'll pick up this trend, they'll pick up that trend, they'll pick up so many different things or following someone else to the point where they have truly lost themselves and don't even know who they truly are inside. They don't even know.
Yeah. Like a point I got to bring up is, we confuse love with constantly pleasing others. And we grew up learning that keeping others happy keeps us safe. People try to make you just like them, and because that you're not like them, it's a problem. It becomes an issue to them because you don't move the same way they do, or you don't think the same way they think, and all that. You just being yourself, and you be different. When you try to explain it to them, or they already know, they just don't care. But that's an issue, and that's a problem. We all grew up thinking keeping, people happy keeps us safe and all that. That's not the way to go. It's not. And we all have probably came across some people that get mad because you're not exactly like them. You don't react or do the same thing that they do or how they would go about it. So it becomes an issue. You have some people that would hold stuff over your head. We all had that happen before. But when you're trying to be yourself and be different, whatever happened in your life, some people try to hold that over your head because you don't do what they want you to do.
Yep.
And you got to cut them people off because they're not good for you. You have to cut them off.
Then it goes to the question: are you a follower or a leader?
Right.
Yes, we follow to learn some stuff, and then sooner or later you become a leader.
Mm-hmm. I like hanging myself, I like to hang around people that push me to be great. I can't stick around people that constantly try to hold something over my head. Like, and what I mean by that, for example, let's say you get in an argument with somebody or whatever the situation may be, and because you stand true to who you are, they don't like it, but they want you to do this. And if you do whatever it is they want you to do, then they say they, will like you or be friends with you or whatever. But in reality, they already got it made up in their mind that they never gonna like you. And even if you was to do what they want you to do, it's gonna be the same outcome.
Yep.
I never understood that. It's a crazy mindset. And then it makes me wonder, like, who are you trying to please for being like that? It makes you wonder, though. It makes you wonder, who are you trying to please being like that?
Jump into mine.
Yeah. If you get mad at me or whatever for being the way I am, and you try to make me like you, then where did that come from on your end? Who are you trying to please or getting to, trying to get to like you or, whatever the case, situation may be? Because it comes from somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I just made somebody think about that, but it does come from somewhere. Let's jump into some of these comments. Kitty said, I feel like I know who I am, confident, but I know I can overthink things, which causes me to be stagnant. Yeah. It happens. People overthink. It's a natural thing. She said, I think I'm a mix of both. I can be a leader when needed, but can let others lead when that situation is presented.
Mm-hmm.
You have to find a balance when it comes to that. Know when to be the leader and know when to just step back and let them lead. It helps in the long run. Keisha said, I'm both, LOL. I have a leader mindset, but I struggle with stepping up and enforcing things, so I end up giving my ideas, etc., and letting someone use them while I watch it play out. It's interesting.
I'm gonna mess with you with that one. Sometimes it can play out, but it might not play out the way that you want it to play out or the way you thought it was going to play out because it is your idea. And since it's your idea, that means it's going to play out the way you need it to play out, especially the way you may have it vision in your mind.
Can't nobody see what you.
Can't nobody see it but you.
Yeah. It don't matter if you explain to them in great detail and all that other stuff. Sometimes that it still will not end up the way you want it because they can't see what you see. They can't see the vision.
Not like the song. About like the song Warren G. And he was saying, "You can't see what I see. You can't see what I see because it's your ideal. They can't see what you see."
Mm-hmm. You should say, I get that. Yeah. Just like when it comes to who you are as a person, even if you try to explain it to some people, some will understand it, some will never understand it. And I get that it's difficult to explain how you are to some people. Trust me, because I struggle with that myself. And how you carry yourself and just your character overall. There's a lot of people that won't understand it.
Because Warren G in his rap song, he'll say, "You can't see what I see every day as Warren G," meaning every day, what I may see, you don't see it. Just like me, what I may see, he can't see it. I can't see what he sees. But once he present that to me, I might can't see it the way he see it, but I get behind and help push to bring that vision to pass.
And that's how it should be. But a point I got to bring up is, stop letting so many things slide and have boundaries. That plays a part into destroying yourself for people to like you. You got to have boundaries. There's certain things you just got to stop sliding. I don't care if it's your parents, family members, friends, and anybody, just everybody. You have to set those boundaries and stop letting so much slide. And we all struggle with that. It's just, we're human. I feel like a lot of people be forgetting that, like, we're human, bro. So, because I know it's somebody that's struggling with that. It happens.
Because even with parents, you have to put them, you can check them in a nice way. That to the point to, you have to let them know, you just can't disrespect me like that. I know you're my parent and stuff, my mama, my daddy, but you can't just keep saying certain stuff about that and degrading me and downing me and saying these awful things to me. No.
Yeah. And thinking that just because you my parent, that I can't say nothing back to you.
Yeah, I'm not gonna disrespect you.
Right.
But I can say in a nice way, look, I'm not that like that, what you're trying to say, because some parents would degrade their children and cuss them out and one of the saddest thing they will say that you ain't gonna never be nothing. What?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how much damage you have done to that child in their mind?
Exactly. And it don't matter if they are a child, a teenager, or a full-grown adult. That still plays on a person's mental state.
You sure do.
Kitty said, I feel that I love to understand other people's minds and why they do things, but when I'm trying to explain myself, it's very hard for me to do so. I get you on that. Humans are complex creatures, especially when it comes to our mind. Yeah. But as far as like the whole disrespect thing, I'm pretty good. I'm gonna say it's crazy. And what happened is, any parent that is doing that, what's gonna happen is you're gonna make your child not mess with you at all, to where they lose all contact with you, everything. Anything you say to them, they're not gonna listen to you no more, because everybody has a boiling point. They're gonna get to that point. Nothing you say will matter to them. And they'd pretty much disown you, not care about you. And even if you either go into a nursing home or pass away, you got some that will not care. Won't even cry at your funeral. And that's what I'm saying. You don't want that to happen. And it's stuff like this that people don't talk about. So that's why we talk about it. But Keisha said, tried that she's not listening. I'm trying my best not to cut her off and move away and start a new life. But I don't see another way around it.
As long as you don't disrespect. Right. Because if you disrespect and say a whole lot of stuff, it's a lot of stuff I really want to say to people sometimes, but I know I won't, because once you release those words, you can apologize all day long, but it is stuck in their head.
Mm-hmm. Can't take it back.
Yeah, as long as you don't disrespect
it. We all get like that, You get so pissed off, you be like, you know what? Yeah. We all been there. You get aggravated, you get very agitated, and you be wanting to say so much, but then you have to catch yourself, because it'll constantly play in their mind, and depending on who you are as a person, it'll be on your mind and on your heart.
Mm-hmm.
Go
She said, my earliest trauma is from my family. I still fight through that trauma to this day. Oh, that'd be What? That'd be a good old subject right there.
Mm-hmm. It sure will.
That'd be a good subject right there.
What's up, Don? But yeah, and that ties into the, say, are you afraid of rejection or losing, your authenticity? Um, and when it comes to even with the family and all that, when I said you're not like them, because it is parents that do that too. They don't understand your ways, especially if you have children in your home. They don't accept the way you're doing things or just how you move or whatever because of what they was taught or things how they try to raise you and they try to make you do what they did. And it's like I'm not like you. One thing about my parents and especially my dad, he always would tell me, yeah, we look alike and act the same in certain aspects, but we are not the same.
It's my son.
And he always said to me, be different, be better than me.
Better than me.
He says that to all my siblings, all of us. He wants to be better than them, but you got some parents that feel like they don't want you to be better than them. They want you to be just like them. It's like, bro, they're not you. Don't try to make them like you. Because you try to get them to destroy themselves to be just like you. Just for you to like them, but at the same time, you're not gonna like them. You got whatever trauma you holding on, whatever happened to you, and projecting that onto them, knowing that you're still not gonna accept whatever it is that they're doing. Even if they're doing it 100% like how you do it, you're still not gonna accept it. And you're gonna be doing that constant battle. And that's not even just for parents, that's just with people in general, as a whole.
Yep. What's going on, Brenda?
What's up, Brenda?
That's model right there. What's that?
But it's gonna be a constant battle that you're doing. And you'll run yourself crazy.
Welcome in. Yeah, that's right. We welcome each and every one of you all. Each and every one of you all. It's your first time here. We welcome each and every one of you all here with us.
Welcome to the Smooth family. We appreciate it. This is the Smooth Talk Podcast. I'm your host, Brandon, aka B Smooth. My other host, Carl, my dad, but aka Papa Smooth.
I'm just here chilling.
And this is a Smooth Talk Podcast. And we talking about why do we destroy ourselves for people to like us. So we kind of catch y'all up to speed. Make sure you share with your friends, comment if you're comfortable and all that. Let us know you're getting here. And we appreciate you being here.
Yep. Everybody on YouTube, welcome. If you're on YouTube, like, subscribe, and everything, and we'll appreciate that. And I know we greatly will appreciate it. We don't take it for granted. And all the Facebook, like and follow.
Mm-hmm. Now, a point I have to bring up is if they have you doing things that's not good or healthy for you, that's causing harm, cut them off. Cut them off.
Yeah.
Just cut them off. You gonna have to cut them off. If they ain't pushing you or trying to have you change to better yourself, because it's another point I'm bringing about that too. And it's causing harm. And I don't mean just physically. I'm talking about mentally, emotionally, spiritually, every aspect when it comes to that. You got to cut them off. Because it's very draining. And it's annoying because you constantly trying to do stuff to please them and, play it safe or whatever, get them to like you or whatever. And a lot of people like to cover it up as I'm being real or, oh, I love you. That ain't love, bro. That ain't love. I've seen people be real and not do no crazy stuff or trying to hurt me or anything like that. There's many ways to approach situations like that. It's many ways.
Many.
So just keep that in mind. Question I gotta ask y'all is: at what point does pleasing others become harmful to yourself? I want y'all thoughts on this. I want to know. I'm just curious. That's why I ask these questions. I try to get y'all involved and see y'all mindset too. Y'all might, have us thinking about some stuff that we never thought of. So I'm gonna repeat the question, which is: at what point does pleasing others become harmful to yourself? So y'all let us know. Let's say Q&A. What's good?
What's going on?
Kitty said, I had cut off family with no explanation. And there were a lot of arguments before that cut off, so it's not like it was a surprise to them. Family can be more evil than any stranger. Yeah. Usually the ones that you love hurt you the most. Yeah, that's usually how it is.
That part right there, family can be more evil. You know, family do plot against you, whether a lot of y'all want to believe that or not. There's some family members that will plot against you. They really do. And you'll be like, sometimes you'll be shocked. Oh, I wouldn't think my family done me like that. Whatever, boy.
Right.
Okay. You keep thinking your family won't do you a certain way. You'll get a rude awakening.
I fell into that trap before, and I was like, dang. Then it flip the switch. Go back down. What Kitty go right here? She said when it hurts you, your mental and emotional health. Yeah. I asked that question because everybody's answer may be different. And for some people, like I said, it could be certain things that be new that we never thought of. So that's why I asked that question. I appreciate you, Dom. Yeah, you know, basically, when it's causing harm to you, you know, your mental or emotional health, that's when it's a problem. It's a problem a bit before that too. If they making you upset, like everybody got feelings, and I'm talking about to the point is it messes up your whole day to where you don't want to do nothing, you can't even think straight and all that. We all get frustrated, but if it's getting to that point, and for some people, it gets to a point to where it can be physical, you know, harmful. It'd be some people that do drugs. You know, they get so aggravated they go to that, or people will try to get you to destroy yourself for them to like you, just because they might do a specific drug or whatever. They'll try to get you to do it, and if you don't, they'll say, you know, you don't love me or whatever. It ain't even gotta be that. It can be, you know, I know it's gonna be uncomfortable for some people, but even from like a sexual standpoint, if you don't do something that they want you to do in a sexual way, they say you don't love them or anything like that. Bro, what? You're insane.
It's some sad individuals out
here.
There's so much going on in this world. You know, we are talking about this, getting through some of this, but we're gonna talk about some of the stuff that's going on in the world too. Because you know we already started on the open mic night. It's gonna leak over into this too because everybody don't watch. You know, some people be working during the open mic night, but some people are off on Sundays and they tune in sometime here with us, and we're gonna try to bring some of the stuff that's going on out there in the world on here to let some people know what is really happening around here in this world. Just like we're talking about, why do we destroy ourselves for people to like us? You know, it's a lot of people out here in this world that's destroying themselves to get people to like them. She said, "Misery loves company," and they're going through all this like it's nothing. Even I just go ahead and say, even coming up next on mine, we're gonna be talking about who you trying to impress. You know, it's time for us to build ourselves up. Quit trying to impress somebody else.
Brenda said, sometimes you have to love your family far.
Yes.
You have to. I love you just from a distance, though.
From a distance. Y'all need to take that part and heed right there, because sometimes you gotta love them from afar.
Yeah.
I love you. As back in the old days, from my mom and them, they would tell you, "I feed you with a long handled spoon," meaning I can love you over here, but I'm gonna feed you why you won't way over down that side. Not saying that I don't love you. I just can't have you close to me like it's the length of a regular spoon.
Mm-hmm. And even when it comes to that, you know, the way I am, I love you from a distance and all that. Even though we may not agree on everything, I love you from a distance. But one thing about me, I'm not gonna disrespect you. I'm not gonna go out my way to go do this and do that to try to make you feel some type of way, whatever. Because I just don't care. But it be some people that do that,
Mm-hmm.
and which it ties back to the topic. You know, they try to get you to get out of character and come out your body to act like them because they want to be evil, toxic, or whatever you want to, put to that or call it. They're trying to get you to act the same exact way. Just because they have that hate in their heart doesn't mean you have to. So here's another question. How do we decide whose approval is worth sacrificing for?
How do what?
How do we decide whose approval is worth sacrificing for?
Some people, the approval. Okay.
Yeah, how do we decide whose approval is worth sacrificing for? Donna said some family members I don't love. Hey, it'd be like that. Everybody different. I'm glad you commented there because, like I said, everybody don't think the same. Don't think the same. Everybody is different and they approach things differently. So that's why I'm glad y'all are, commenting and sharing your thoughts because it could, potentially be helping somebody. You never know. Fine, how you doing?
Mr. Vaughn, how you doing? I know there's a lot of revivals going on. I know y'all busy in church and everything. I know we had ours last week, so.
But yeah, how do we decide whose approval is?
As we always say, we missed you.
Yeah, that's pretty tough right there.
Yeah.
Trying to decide whose approval is worth sacrificing for.
Okay.
I
Let's
feel,
try and get some wrong approval from the wrong one.
I feel like when it comes to that, when it's helping you become a better person, I feel like that's when it is good. When it's push you to be, great and not, and change you in a positive way, I feel like that's when it's good from that aspect. Anything outside that, I don't know. Now, if y'all got some points on that, let me know. Yeah, I'm here to learn. we here to learn. We don't know everything. We just give, our opinion. So she said, explain.
I think he was explaining.
Trying to explain. Yeah, that's a tough question though. That's why I asked the question because I want everybody involved on this one. Trying to decide whose approval is worth sacrificing for.
She said she missed us.
Yeah, miss you too. Hold on, Katie said, I hate when people use reactive abuse. They try to say or do things because they want you to act a certain way or say what they want you to say. Yeah. Like, bro, I'm not a mind reader, but at the same time, I'm not gonna do that. But
some things I really want, even if it's family, if I feel like it's gonna be a bunch of mess behind that, I won't even fool with it. It's gonna be a bunch of drama. I'm like this right here. And it's no stone thrown at anybody that like to be involved with drama. I'm not a person that like to be involved in drama. Not much that plays in the mind and have you all discombobulated and all this kind of stuff, and you sitting there like, man, what is going on? Why do I feel like this? Because you're involved in so much drama that it is actually starting to take over you.
I'm gonna try to explain the best, but I can't be sure when it comes to that.
Maybe you need to read it one more time, the question again, for everybody that's popping in.
Yeah. How do we decide whose approval is worth sacrificing for? And like I said, shoot, I'm trying to think of the best way to explain that to y'all. I guess if it's like they trying to get you to change to better yourself, and not just for their sake, but mainly just for yourself. I feel like that's when you try to make a decision to sacrifice. getting that approval from them. But at the same time, I feel like you should only really do it for yourself. Don't do it because they want you to do it. Do it because you want to do it also. If it's good intentions, if it's they have pure heart. That's a difficult question though. I ain't gonna lie.
He said it depends on that person's intentions with you and what are you sacrificing. Why do you have to sacrifice that for them to approve of you? Are you sacrificing something that's bad for you? In that case, it's not a sacrifice, it's growth.
Yep. And that's why I want y'all to comment. Get y'all brain going.
Don says your own approval.
But I just had to ask that question of
I think it's the ones that also fight to be in your life and what
want the best
want
for you.
best for you. That's right. Want the best. That's right. All these right here is good.
Yep. Now, a key point that I had is, the people pleasing conditioning, which is, learn behavior from childhood where love or acceptance was earned, not given freely. I'm going to have to repeat that one. People pleasing conditioning. Learn behavior from childhood where love or acceptance was earned, not given freely. What's your thoughts on that?
Read that first part again.
Well, the people
I'll be like a pastor. Read that first part again.
People pleasing conditioning. Learn behavior from childhood.
Stop right there. Be like the pastor. Stop right there. Learn behavior from your childhood. That's why it's so important to be careful what you do around a child when they are growing up. Be careful what you say around a child while they're growing up because they mimic and pick up what you do. If you think I'm lying, look back over your life, and not only your life, you got children. Look back over your children's life, and if you was cussing, they started cussing.
Mm-hmm.
If you was saying some crazy stuff, they say crazy stuff. They mimic what you do.
Donna said, "Don't ever sacrifice your mental capacity for anyone yet."
And that is very valuable. Your mental capacity is very valuable. Very. And the way they are doing stuff now, boy, you better be very careful, especially with this AI stuff that's going on now. You definitely better put your thinking cap on, as we used to say back in the day. You better put your mind together. You better be alert all the time. All the time. She said, "Yep, they're spongy." Yep, that's what my mama used to say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And one time when with all my kids, my daughter and my son, at first when I had my daughters before Brandon was born, I had both of them at the same time one weekend, and they was over in the corner playing, and me and my mom was talking, and my mom is very keen about what she talk about when she around children. That's why back in the day when I was growing up, when grown folks were talking, they would see you out the room and see you outside. You couldn't be around grown people talking. Nowadays, kids are in grown folks' business. But my mom said, she said, "Pete," that's my nickname. She said, "Pete, you see them, they over there playing, right? Yeah. They hear everything we saying.
Mm-hmm.
They picking up everything that we are saying right now." And then when Brandon was born, it was the same thing. She said, "You see him playing over there, or he hear everything we're talking about." They pick it up. They pick it up.
Yeah, that key point though, where love or acceptance was earned, not given freely. That's facts though.
He said, "I have learned not to people please about 10 years ago. I only please the ones that truly
Reciprocate.
Reciprocate.
Yeah. Reciprocate to me as well.
To me as well. It took a lot of self-reflection and prayer for me to stop people pleasing." Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Reciprocate.
Yeah. Now, another key point
I got a little too tired there for me.
Be like that. Another key point I got to bring up is, avoidance of conflict. We harm ourselves to keep peace and avoid confrontation.
Yeah.
Which is fact. A lot of us do that. we harm ourselves to keep peace and avoid, confrontation.
That's why it's not always good to agree with everything, including with family.
Mm-hmm. I get, trying to keep peace between people because me myself, I'm the same way. To avoid confrontation, but sometimes you got to put some people in check or cut them off or whatever it is you're gonna do. However you're supposed to handle it, whatever situation you're supposed to handle. You're not always gonna be able to keep peace between everybody. There's always gonna be that one person that's not gonna agree with it and try to have some ill intent. That's just how it is. I hate that it's like that in this world, but that's just how it is.
Mm-hmm.
A question I'm going to ask is, what's an advice you would give to someone who is slowly destroying themselves for people to like them?
Sit back and reevaluate themselves. If they're slowly destroying themselves, sometimes people don't realize it. So that's why it's good when somebody come up to you and say, look, you're not like them. Why are you trying to be like them? They're saying it for a reason because that you are not like them. And I would say, hey man, or hey young lady, why? Sometimes I would say this: why are you trying to be like them?
Mm-hmm.
You have your own. Why are you trying to be like them?
Yeah, in some cases.
Look at yourself and reevaluate yourself, and don't worry about trying to fit in, because every crack is not fit to be fit in. It can be very dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Even like this, I put it like this. Even like this, we on right now. Y'all see us on the podcast and everything. I tell you, I tell you the truth right now. Thank you. And I tell you the truth right now. If we really wanted this podcast to be jumping, all I got to do is get on here and start talking about sex and drugs, being in a whole bunch of drama, a whole bunch of traumatic stuff, talking about people, racism and stuff like that. Even though we're gonna talk about racism, but not like that.
Not the way people
expect. Yeah, be nasty, just degrading people and all this kind of stuff. That's all we got to do. If you go on any social media platform that be live sometime, even on Facebook or even on YouTube and stuff, if you go over there on there and see how dramatic and stuff like that, you'll see how about doggone 300 people, 1,000 people, 2,000 people on.
Watch this. But you ever notice whenever the conversation died out or they switch topics or try to talk about something positive, the views drop.
They gone
immediately. As soon as whatever that negativity was pushed out, once that died out, they leave.
Yep.
And you'll never see them again unless y'all pick it back up and do the same thing again, and that's when they'll come back.
Yep.
Kitty said to isolate if needed. Prayer and meditation, look within yourself on why you people please.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you gotta sit back and ask yourself, why are you trying to be
like this? So true. Yes. Why? And if it's your first time here, we welcome each and every one of you all for tuning in. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, boy be smooth. Welcome to the Smooth Talk Podcast. You're part of the Smooth family. You're here. We appreciate every single one of y'all. I'm your host, Brandon McCoy, aka Be Smooth. My other host, Carl, aka Papa Smooth. And we talking about why do we destroy ourselves for people to like us. We talk about this stuff because it's needed, and this is stuff that goes on every day. Whether you believe it or not, this stuff is going on in people's lives. And we try to talk about it because we advise everybody to comment, share your thoughts, or even if you're comfortable enough, whether you say it in the comments or want to come up, you can share it with us because we're learning just as much as y'all, but also this could help somebody. You never know. You never know who's watching, who it could possibly help.
Never know.
But
somebody can be watching and your comment could help them because they see that's what you went through.
Mm-hmm.
You never know. We're not only on on Facebook that some of you all may see us through. But we're also on YouTube. We plan on expanding the destinations, that they call it, on the platforms and stuff.
Yeah.
So we appreciate each and every one of you all. We don't take none of this for granted. None of it. We love the comments. Sometimes, you feel free, you want to come on and express yourself. I've seen the link, or I put the link in the chat. It don't make no difference.
Mm-hmm. And the reason why we ask, on top of that, add on that, is because y'all be teaching us stuff too. Y'all get us to think as well. But here's a question that I'm real curious about. What personal boundaries have you crossed just to be accepted? It can be from your childhood all the way up to now.
Boy, back in the day, man.
That's a deep question.
I crossed a whole bunch of boundaries, even against my mama, your grandma. I got tore up for it, but no, I didn't disrespect. I ain't cuss out. I ain't do none of that stuff. I don't believe in disrespecting my parents. I don't believe in that. I never disrespected my mama. I never cussed in front of my mama. I never drunk any alcohol in front of my mama. I never smoked no dope in front of my mama. I never did none of that. I never partied with my mama. Family reunion is different. I have never done that. Even though my daddy was not in my life, I hadn't seen him since I was 7. He don't pass away now. If we would have ever got together and talked before he passed away, I still would not have disrespected him. I would have just said, look, we cannot change the past. Let's move forward from here. That's how you have matured and you're grown now.
Mm-hmm.
Some people still hold that over people's heads, and my daddy went there, so I'm gonna be. But see, you got to be careful, because you're saying because your daddy went there, are you there for your kids?
And it might not happen to you. It could, your kids can end up being like that. The generational curses that does exist, whether you believe it or not. It does exist.
Mm-hmm. We try to.
It'll probably skip, but it'll probably go down to your kids or your grandkids, etc. Okay, so both of you are good. And we appreciate it. We try to.
Yeah, we try.
We try.
Do my best to do it.
Right.
Yvonne said, I had to realize that not everyone meets me where I meet them. I had to step back. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. But they won't meet you there.
Mm-hmm.
They want you to give more than what they give.
Mm-hmm. And I've seen that. I recently experienced that. But yeah, I'm not finna go out, especially if I already know. And I see it with my own eyes that even if I do what it is you want me to do, you're still not going to accept it. It's still going to be, you ain't going to really have good intentions with me and rock with me. So why would I even stick around or even come around?
Yeah.
It's best for me just cut you off and go about my day.
And if you don't give what they expect, then they'll cut you. Eventually, they're going to cut you off anyway.
Yeah, recently. But I'm like, it's okay. I still love you. Won't disrespect you. We just have to, we see things differently.
I never disrespect my parents, but they have heard a piece of my mind, regardless if they agree with how I felt or not.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as like personal boundaries,
see that you respectfully and said what you had to say that was on your mind. That's a problem with some of these parents of today too. They do not want to listen to their kids because, well, I'm the parent. You just gonna listen to what I say. Now I might listen to what you say, but you should listen to what they have to say too.
I got the topic kind of time into that. I don't know if I want to drop it now, let y'all know what it is, or if I might just pop out and surprise you with it. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. But as far as like the personal boundaries I cross, in my younger, even though I'm only 27, but teenage, early 20s or whatever, a personal boundary I crossed on myself was putting my own health and at risk, knowing I shouldn't. As a teenager, you trying to figure stuff out. You don't have everything figured out. You're never gonna have everything figured out. But I was still trying to figure out who I am as a person. But when she said, please do that topic, I'm gonna do the topic. I dropped it. But basically, hold on, let me go to my notes right quick. I got you. The topic that I am going to do is why are kids' boundaries dismissed? So that's the one I'm going to do.
Oh.
Now I got, but yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. So a key point I got to bring up is identity loss, forgetting or suppressing our authentic selves in pursuit of being liked. There's a lot of people that do that. You forget who you are, or you suppressing your true self, trying to pursue and being liked or loved by everyone because parents / adults dismiss them. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be a great topic. We're gonna get to
that. Yeah. It's a forever changing process. Yep. Forever changing.
Mm-hmm. But yeah.
Y'all see me texting because some people texting me.
And another key point I can bring up is, low self-esteem. You got to come to peace with understanding that you're not only valuable if others approve of you. You're not valuable because of that. I want people to understand that. You're not only valuable when you get approval by, I don't care if it's your friends, your family, your parents, whoever. Right? No. That doesn't make you valuable just because you're getting approval by them. You're valuable without the approval. Especially if you're doing things the right way. They might not agree with everything you do, especially if it's the right thing, If you're doing great things out here, they're not going to agree with everything you do.
Mm-mm.
That's just facts.
That's right. That's just facts. Yep.
She said because we're taught to suppress who we are as children. Yeah. We're told who we should be to not survive but fit into society, to be valuable to society. So we lose ourselves as children. Yeah. And I never understood that too, because I even see parents do it. Why aren't you letting a child be a child?
Ooh.
And putting so much pressure on them. And,
ooh.
Kids gonna be kids. Like, yeah, you can teach them, of course, teach them the right things, right from wrong and all that other stuff. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about when kids, just being a kid, just in general, just being a kid, doing things that a kid should be doing.
You might need to put that as a topic too.
Right.
Let a kid be a kid. I never put any type of pressure on none of my kids. None of them. I let them be kids. Mm-hmm. When they get grown, and when what I mean, let them get grown. They grown now. And when they got grown, I still didn't pressure them. Like some people say, when you gonna have some grandkids? When you having some grandkids?
Or they do this.
Let your children live first.
Mm-hmm. Or they do that, when you hit 18, you gotta get out of my house.
The way it is now, you might want them to stay.
You might want them to stay the way, yeah. I'm like, bro, y'all do that, and you understand the pressure that puts on them, and it gets them to destroy themselves too, in order for you to accept and like them. Because you push them out here, what's gonna happen is the world gonna get to them. Because you gotta think about it.
The world ain't playing.
The moment they hit 18 and say you do kick them out of the house or whatever the case may be, they still they don't have too much knowledge. Because you're not teaching them. I mean, some people be stuck in this old way of, you got to go through what I went through. No, they don't. I don't know when that became a thing, but no, they don't. Why are you trying to make them suffer and have it hard for them? And I ain't saying they got to have an easy life and everything, handed to them. No, I ain't saying that. Of course, they're going to have to learn and go through some stuff. But you don't have to sit here and try to make your trauma their trauma. You don't have to do that. Because they're gonna separate from you.
Yeah.
Well,
Yep.
Let's talk about that. Some people ain't ready for that.
Hey man, how y'all doing?
What's up, man?
We appreciate all y'all, all the comments. See, it's some young people in here too. See, some of these people are young that's commenting.
Mm-hmm.
Adult people. That's why I listen to these young people. That's why sometimes when they're on the Discord, sometimes I might walk by the room and I might hear them saying stuff. Listen, because they have some very interesting topics what they be talking about. Ooh. I hope they can bring them over here on the platform. We can talk about. We talk about some serious stuff, y'all.
Try to.
Yeah, let me say this to y'all that just tuned in. Them young folks that's on the Discord with my son, they talk about sex, they talk about relationship, they talk about the Lord, they cry, they pray. I don't see that. I don't heard that. When Brandon got sick here, because he was in the room, he had the door closed. He was in the room on there. He failed. They hit me automatically and said, "Go check on Brandon." Went back and checked on. And when I opened the door, it was praying. Do not discount these young people out. As if you don't think they know. They know who the Lord is. That's another subject. I'm just letting y'all know though. They know.
Keisha said, what's a good balance between letting a kid be a kid and getting them ready for the world? You can let them be a kid, but also
inform them of the world at the same way.
Go. You have to keep it straight up with them. You just have to. That's just how the world is now.
But this world,
it's gonna be difficult. I'm not saying it's gonna be easy.
Especially now.
I know a lot of people are like, well, you say it like it's easy. I know it's not easy. I'm not saying it is easy. I don't expect it to be easy. You can let them be a kid, but you have to do it gracefully and at times teach them along the way.
The way this world is now versus when Brandon was growing up, it's two different generations.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
I watched it change the moment I graduated.
I was watching him when he was in school. Even me and his mama had to talk about it one time. And we was talking about how it's shit.
When we are dismissed, when we are children, especially when we want so much approval from family/adults, we tend to do more quiet as adults ourselves because we were suppressed. We learned through life to have a louder voice. It takes time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's some great leaders that's growing up right now.
Mm-hmm.
These young folks is really speaking out, and I love it because sometimes we be down to the Holler Center, and I be listening to them young men talk before some of the young women talk. They have some good ideas, but sometimes they get suppressed because the adults don't listen to what they're saying. But see, that's the avenue we have opened up and created to where people can come talk. I just put it that way.
Good. Respect should be reciprocated. I learned to enjoy being myself and have peace. You can't change anyone who doesn't want to change or admit that they are wrong. Yeah.
That's right. I cannot change no one. You don't want to change that. That's your opinion. I mean, that's your choice. That's your choice. Mm-hmm. But it's like we always say what we're talking about today in church, and I have always said it too. The world call it karma, but really what it is, you reap what you sow. You sow a whole bunch of bad stuff, you're gonna reap a whole bunch of bad stuff.
And they kind of piggyback off what you said. You're going, when it comes to changing and stuff like that. I'll be quick to do this because it do be some people. I do come across some people, or even people I'm close friends with, and they see it from my perspective. And I tell them straight up, you want me to change, in a good way and all this stuff. You want me to change, but you ain't changing either. This ain't one-sided. You want what's best for me. I want what's best for you. That's what a friend is. You want me to stop being this way, but you gotta stop being this way too.
Mm-hmm.
But some people aren't like that. They look at it, you can't tell me this about you. This ain't about me. We friends. I'm tell you straight up, just like you keeping it real with me. I ain't disrespect you or none of that. I'm just keeping it real the same way you keeping it real. Which I gotta talk about that too. I told him about it. I ain't even share that one though.
Yeah.
Keep that one on the low.
How do we know when we're overly sheltering our kids? That thought we have in our 20s and 30s. I didn't know the world would be like this. Is it because we were sheltered? A lot of times, yeah. A lot of times, yeah. A lot of times we try to shelter our kids from the world. When not saying we push them out there in the world, but you got to let them see what the world really is. You know, we try to hide things from them. We try to hide some of the stuff we did. I was talking about this in Sunday school this morning. I said, you cannot be so ashamed of your past and what you've done that you don't tell your kids about it. Because sometimes you can tell your kids what you have done, whether it's good or bad. And sometimes that'll prevent them from doing it. Or if they start to do it, they might be like, wait a minute, my dad said they did this and the result was not good. Sometimes it starts. A lot of times we don't want to tell our kids the bad stuff we've done. Mm-hmm. Why? You've done it. And matter of fact, if you've done it for a length of time, because you didn't only do it, you did it because you loved it.
Yeah. And even when it comes to this topic, you can be straight up and like, hey, letting you know this now. I was destroying myself for people to like me, because it's different aspects and ways of destroying yourself for people to like you. A lot of people don't understand that concept. There's many ways you can destroy yourself for people to like you. Not a typical way that everybody be thinking. There's multiple ways when it comes to that. I'm 36, and I found myself watering down my answer for him when he asked why I'm scared of being pulled over by the police. They are nice, right? They just want to help us. I just shut down. That's a tough conversation to have.
That's a hard conversation, but the reality of it is, and I know you're gonna water it down some. Don't water it down so far to where there ain't nothing but water. Let him know at that young age, you got some nice police and you got some bad police. They are nice. You got some that are nice, but then you have some that are bad.
That's just like people in the world in general.
I don't even like to get pulled over by the police. Not saying that I'm scared. I just don't want to get pulled over by the police.
You be telling me that,
and I act accordingly. The last time I got pulled over by the police, my window was tinted. I was driving a loaner car from the job. Windows were tinted, and sometimes it all depends on the approach. When he pulled me over, and it was at night. Now, was I scared? Yeah, because I don't know where he was in his mindset. But when he pulled me over, all my windows were down, so he could see in the car. There's no danger to him. All my windows were down. He came up. I want to see the lights and registration of the car, because he seen it was a loaner car. And I gave him the registration to the car, gave him my license and stuff. And he said, "You know what? I appreciate you having your windows down." See, because they're always on alert when they come to approach a car with tinted windows. Now, could I get pulled over by somebody that had a rough evening? Yeah, because some of them do. But I try to comply with that and just both of my hands on the steering wheel at the top where he can see them. Not saying that I'm finna get out here and I think I'm finna do this, or I even think the police finna, shoot. Not thinking. But for a 6-year-old, my mama started talking to me when I was sick. I started talking to Brandon when he was sick. Give him the facts of life as he grow up, because he's looking for you to tell him the truth. Because one thing you don't want to happen is for the world to start telling you stuff.
So I got a key point in a question that pulled up.
The earlier you can expose your child to church, the better. When they learn the difference between right and wrong, then they can be held accountable. We have some good kids in this world. Yes, we do. The earlier you do stuff with these kids, the earlier they can pick up stuff. They start learning the right from the wrong. If you're doing a lot of wrong in your home, that's all they're gonna do.
And even when it comes to like their emotions and you checking them and all this other stuff and teaching them, give them some time and space to embrace and comprehend and process their emotions and what they feel at that moment, and then teach them about what it is they feel and how to go about it and all of that. I don't even have kids, but I know that though. And it's just for me watching other people, and just learning. Just in case if I do so happen to have kids, I know it.
No, I ain't laughing at what you said.
No,
I'm laughing at what kids said. You love to tell you what to do, but don't practice what they preach, and that's sad. Right. And what I was laughing at, because Barry White got a song about that. Practice what you preach. If I'm out here preaching love, but I'm raising hell, I'm not practicing what I preach.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that, like they say about churchgoers. They saved and sanctified on Sunday or Saturday, whichever day you go. But that dog on Monday, they raising so much hell you wouldn't think it was in the church. I grew up in generation where my parents could only shelter me from only so much. I learned at a young age how the world could be and is. I tried to have an innocent, optimistic in mind, but after a certain age, that had to change to me because of a realistic person. Becoming a realistic person.
Now, man, I'm going off these comments. We appreciate it.
He may say that's the way. That's the way to teach when you're pulled over, how to act and react. Hands where the police can see them when they are walking upon you.
We're gonna have a conversation about that. Talk about that. If it's not on either my podcast or his, it's gonna be on open mic, most likely. Because I low key do want Cornelius to be a part of this one.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a conversation about that.
Yeah. Before you read it, and say this right here. And y'all know when they walk up on your car, they walk up on the side. A lot of people really don't understand why they touch the car. They touch the car, leave a fingerprint. In case something happened to them, they pull their car over. They got the police officer fingerprint on the car. That's why they touch it.
Mm-hmm. Now, key point I got to bring up is, insecurity. Feeling that who you are is not enough to be loved. I'm going to repeat that again. Feeling that who you are is not enough to be loved. Everybody, a lot of people deserve love. Especially the ones that's out here that's just lost souls and trying to figure themselves out, figure out where they fit in life and who they are as a person. They feel like, who they are as a person, they don't deserve love, and trying to be accepted by the world, you deserve love, bro. You got people that love you and care about you, just want to see you be great.
That's it.
You do. It's hard to accept at the beginning and understand that because of what you've been through. I myself even dealt with that before at a young age, but once you realize it and you actually see the people that do care about you and love you, you feel a whole lot better. And it's a difference. You'll see a change in your life. You'll see a shift change.
Mm-hmm.
But you're deserving of love, bro. Don't feel like you're not. Just because this group of people don't accept who you are as a person, you got a group over here that does. That love you just the way you are.
Yeah.
Not everybody gonna agree with how you are as a person and in the way you do things and just you in general. That's just how it is. There's a lot of people that don't like me. I don't care. It is what it is. I'm not here to be liked by everybody. I know the people that love me and care about me and all of that. And I know the people that don't like me. That's cool. That's fine with me. I'm not trying to be liked by everybody because what's going to happen is it's going to be an endless cycle of trying to please everybody.
Yep.
You know, even when it comes to people talking about you, and I've said this many times, it don't matter if you're healthy, sick, dead, or alive. They still gonna talk about you, and they still not gonna accept whatever it is you was doing in life. Because even if you was in your grave, they'll still be saying something about you and saying the stuff you was doing and how they didn't like you, whatever. I don't care about none of that. It is what it is.
As they're lowering your casket down in the ground, they will be talking about you. Mm-hmm. And guess what they'll be talking about? Not the good stuff. I remember when you used to do this. I remember when he used to do that. I remember she would mess around with such and such while they were married. I remember he took such and such wife from them. That's what they remember. You can be changed and have got a relationship with the Lord and they'll change your whole life around. And for the past 50 years, and they don't care about that. They don't.
I'm sitting here like, bro, you got like you ain't done stuff in this world. Like you perfect. But Kitty said, that is my problem. I can love someone so much, but I feel like I don't deserve to be loved. But that comes from past trauma. I work on that every day. Yeah, at least you're working on it. Some people don't want to.
She said, I try to give the love that I want to receive.
Yeah. That's how it should be. Vaughn said they were talking to the day you die.
The day you die.
Even after that, you can still keep going.
Still gonna keep going.
But this the last question I got is, what fears would you have to face to stop destroying yourself for approval?
What fears?
Mm-hmm. Would you have to face to stop destroying yourself?
Somebody not like you. Probably family members not like
you. Yeah. That's
probably some friends that might not say that, but you know, I don't have that fear right there, you know, because for one, I ain't finna destroy myself to be liked or loved by anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care who you are.
Yep.
I'm not finna destroy myself. No. And like Peter said earlier part of the podcast, destroy myself. No, I'm not gonna destroy myself.
Mm-hmm. I would say mine is pretty much the same thing as well, you know, and
it's called selective memory.
Selective memory, right?
Yeah.
See, another fear I would have to face to stop destroying myself. Letting things, depending on the situation, what's going on, but when it comes to people that I'm really, really close to, letting certain things they may say affect me to where it's affecting, you know, my health when it comes to suicide. And then, you know, back then that was an issue. Now it's gotten better, but that was an issue to where it would like bother me sometimes, and I was just like, I can't do that because if you my friend or family, like you say you are, you wouldn't be doing what you're doing if you know. Because that used to trip me out. But, oh, I know how this affects you and how it causes pain to you, then why you still do it?
Yeah.
If you know it's hurting,
they want to see you hurt.
Yeah, if you know it's hurting me and I'm in the situation I'm in, but you still do it, though, and continue to do it. So you don't really love me or care about me as a friend or a family like you say you do. You like to see me hurt. Mm-hmm. And that's because the way you are, whoever you trying to, which it goes back to, who are you trying to please and be like? We get to that another time.
Yeah. So I feel like I deserve to be loved. I just struggle with letting people love me. I love hard, almost uncontrollably. But when it comes to accepting it, it feels uncomfortable. I don't know. I'm figuring it out.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us have been through that or going through it now, dealing with it now. That's just something that comes along with life.
Mm-hmm. That's just life.
That's just life. That's right. That's just life. I say you're gonna lose some so-called friends. You're going to be lied on and talked about. They will say you changed. Yes, they will. They will say that in heartbeat. Oh, you don't change. Oh, you don't change. Yeah, I change for the better. Right. And if that means you got to go, then what's that you say? Bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia. Sometimes not even so much as you change. It be them they be the ones that change, but they not gonna realize or want to accept or point that out. They want to say it's you as if you're the problem. Half the time that ain't always the case.
Or cause we like Cedric Entertainer. I holla.
Well, yeah, that's how it be though. Like, and it's not your job to find out what they said about you, what they lied about. Now, if it's brought to you, then it was meant for you to hear. But I don't be worrying about it. I'm not gonna go out my way and be like, hey, what you said, what they said. I don't care about that.
I say this in Sunday school. People gonna talk. Let them people talk. Quit trying to doggone answer and follow up on everything that somebody say about you. If you know who you are, then you shouldn't even worry about what them folks are saying about you. You should be just concerned about you. People gonna talk. I guarantee you. And I made this example in Sunday school this morning. I said, if people see me sitting down with Minister Gwen, just sitting down eating at the restaurant, she could be already there, and I just happen to walk in the same restaurant and say, I'm gonna sit down and eat with you. And we sitting there talking. At Cloud, I'm messing with her. Just like that. Don't even know. Matter of fact, I did this one time before, and I shared this with. I was in Walmart one time, my youngest daughter, Shay. I grabbed her hand. I said, watch how these people react. And one dude came to me that I know. Said, hey man, I seen you like the little young girl, don't you? I said, Shay, come here. Let's look at her, look at me. They was like, that's my daughter, man. I said, see, that's what's wrong with the world now. You worry about too much doggone who in what relationship. Worry about what you doing. Some of y'all married, if you married, can't function because you're worried about somebody else's relationship. Leave it alone.
Even for his mind, but that's crazy.
That's crazy. Even you dating somebody, you worried about what somebody else, who somebody dating, should be worried about what you do. But as soon as the table turns and it's on you, why you in my business? Well, you in everybody else's business.
Can you put to get over not being liked / loved by everybody? Everyone doesn't deserve your energy. Facts.
And say if people can't accept you changing, then they shouldn't be in your life anyway. That's right. Holla. Get them out of here. Quicker than a fire. Yes, it do. Yeah, boy, and fire's free.
And
let the wind catch you. But that light be way over there for the fire can be back here. Light way over there somewhere.
And before we close out and all that, even when it comes to the light, it's always somebody to like the story gonna change. Somebody gonna add on something to it or take away something from it, and it's always gonna be like that.
Yo, they don't want to let go. She said, if that change is good, then the right friends and family will support you and live
in love.
And live you regardless.
I guess you meant put love you regardless.
Yeah, love you regardless. Yeah. You know.
There's a book about letting people be them. Don't try to prevent them from being them. Let them talk, let them move how they want to move, let them leave, let them lie, let them do everything but hurt you. You just watch them move accordingly. Good.
There you go. Everything right there in a nutshell.
No, on that note, hey, Smooth family, look, we appreciate y'all. We appreciate y'all coming through. Y'all don't miss. Y'all show up every time. I'm your host, Brandon, aka my host. My dad, Carl, aka Papa Smooth.
They gave me that Papa Smooth name.
Yeah, and y'all are part of the Smooth family. We appreciate y'all joining us. For the Smooth Talk podcast. It means a lot. We don't know everything, but we like to share our opinions and conversations that we have. Conversation that should be had that people don't talk about a lot. But we love y'all. We appreciate it. What you got coming up?
Oh, we got coming up in a few. Read it before we get out of here. She said, yes, it take prayer. I'm enjoying y'all from Memphis, Tennessee. Ooh, appreciate it. One of the highest crime cities in the United States. You know what? May I was looking at some of that. Matter of fact, last night. It is sad. You are so right though. Highest crime cities in the United States right now. We have a church on every corner, but it's time to get back to generational prayer. Grandparents praying and parents being models of prayer. Exactly. Woo, that's the way to wrap that part up with that right there, because it is time to get back to that. It is time. It's time. But y'all know we coming up at 6. Everybody join us. If you, it'll be after 6.
Yeah, we
didn't know we were gonna go this long, but we appreciate each and every one of you all. Come back a little bit after 6. I'll be back. We'll be back on mine. Real talk conversation. And we're gonna be talking about who are you trying to impress?
Mm-hmm.
And we thank you all. That's what we got going on next. And I talked to a pastor friend of mine today. I've seen him today. I talked to another pastor friend, which Yvonne, you know Minister James Everett Jr. over there in Rockingham, Hammond area. I don't talk to him, and I talked to Travis. We get ready to do some things. All 3 of those don't been in prison. So we get ready to talk about some serious stuff, y'all. So y'all be on the lookout for the flyers. Be on the lookout for everything. We appreciate each and every one of you all. I can't say that enough. Thank you for your support. Especially Wade from Memphis, Tennessee. We appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, as far as what I got going on, y'all know podcast next Sunday. Like I said, we went over time a little bit. That's because it was a great topic, and y'all was time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah.
And it was a great topic conversation. I'm glad that y'all were able to share, your stories, testimonies, and all that stuff, and just be a part of this with us.
Go grab a sandwich and come on back after 6.
Right.
Set your phone, set your clock for about 10 minutes after 6.
Yeah. Dancing videos and all that great stuff. And we posting that. Y'all know me. I quick do like a skit or something like that. Or just
Maybe fun too. I'm about to join one of them.
And so I'm gonna be posting those. Still working on a lot of stuff. It's a lot. We got coming up. It's a lot of stuff we're working on. It's just a process with this stuff. So gotta be patient with that. But yeah, we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Don't destroy yourself to fit in for people to like y'all.
Exactly.
We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. We thank y'all. Stay focused, stay positive, smile. You know how to be smooth with it. Let's see.